hear from you. It's an experimental comedy about a man surviving the streets of Jozi, featuring emerging star Tshegofatso, Chillies Masekwameng. Right, the 2012 Standard Bank Young Artist of the Year for Theatre Princess Mhlongo's latest production, titled Julius, which runs at Pop Art from the 16th to the 19th of May 2019, is here to tell us all about her latest project. It's great to have you in studio. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about Julius and what is it about, and where did the inspiration for you to tell this story come from?
I've always wanted to explore storytelling in a different way, and with this particular show, it's no words, particularly movement, and a beatboxer. And I really wanted to explore a street artist who wants to share his issues, because sometimes we really do not see those people on the street. So Julius is really an artist living in the street, busking, trying to survive, no land, no home, you know. Yeah, just an artist really wanting to survive this world in Jozi.
I think you're really out to challenge your audiences with this one. I mean, just how you're presenting the story with Tshegofatso and Simphiwe Bonongo on Beatbox. I think you're leaving it all to us to feel the emotion and to interpret the story as we see it. Why was that so important?
I mean, I think for me, I really wanted to challenge myself as a director. You know, the last production I did was Divas of Kofifi, and that was a musical. It was all the shebangs, you know, and I really wanted to strip myself down into a different way of storytelling and in a smaller space as well, you know, so really bringing my audience closer and experiencing all the senses. So that's another thing I really want to explore in this world, is touching on fears, you know, that Julius may go through, but also seeing how that can translate directly to the audience, you know. So I really want to awaken the senses in this theater piece. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, you know, but it's really experimental, and I think that's the beauty of having a space where you can really test out new work, which I think is very rare for a lot of artists. So, yeah, I think it's really taking a step into no limits and not, you know, blocking yourself before actually trying it. So it's a challenge not only for me, but also my actor, you know, and the beatboxer, you know. We're really going through it together, which is fun.
Wow, you know, I'm just thinking about how this will really force one to hone into, as you say, you know, be able to use all their senses and really just delve deeper into the themes that you'll be exploring in the story, and just bring us closer to that. What are the themes that you're wanting to tackle?
Yeah, I really wanted to explore this magical world, you know. I mean, this story has been itching at me for a while, and I've really tried to refine it until getting to this moment of having no words and really just working with movement and sound, you know. So I take it to the streets and really start asking myself, who is this person we see, you know, on the street corner doing this art, you know, that they really take seriously. And once they take off that mask and go back home, or whether there is a home that they have, what are the challenges that they face, you know, what are the fears that come to life in that world, you know. So we really want to push it into a fantasy type of world, so it's not expected as much, you know, and we pushing ourselves as well, not presenting something to the audience where they're like, I've seen that before, you know. So we really have to push ourselves into what type of world we want to present. So we're really exploring a lot of magic, a lot of, you know, fantasy, but with really heavy issues, you know. So I think that for me I'm really interested to see what the audience, you know, takes from that, you know, especially when they go home and reflect and come back. So it's, yeah, I think not only is it issues that someone who's homeless may deal with, but it's also a struggling artist, you know, trying to survive with this art that they have, and, you know, trying to sell it to the people for that penny, you know. So I think it really, that's the grassroots for me. A person like a Julius, street artist, really pushes how they present their talent on the street. So yeah, for me, it reflects in also us as creatives, you know, how do we redefine this art that we, you know, want to take to the people at home.
And just talk to us about your cast members. There's only 2 of them, but immensely talented young people.
Yeah,
Why were they the best fitted for this role and the story, and how you're trying to interpret
you know,
it?
As a director, I'm always drawn to personalities, and I really gravitate to an energy. So when I met Chillies, we did a short reading, and I saw how he worked. You know, he really works hard to understand a character. And for this type of work, you really have to forget about everything that you've been taught and really rely on what's inside and how it translates physically. So I really knew I want to work with him. And Bongo Beatman, I saw him in another production and knew immediately. He's the hardest working beatboxer I've ever seen, you know. And it's a world that's slowly coming into the country, but I first experienced it in Scotland, where I saw how people used movement and sound, you know, and that stuck with me, and I wanted to bring it back home, but with our own story, you know. So once I found those 2, I was so happy. And I mean, it's hard, you know, but to have people who really support your vision, that's the best recipe for me.
All right. Princess, unfortunately, we are out of time, but thank you so much for coming through to chat to us about this amazing project. And as you said, you are exploring heavy themes, but you also do it in such a way where comedy is incorporated, and so it makes it for, you know, lighter engagement. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's director Princess Mhlongo speaking to us about her brand new production titled Julius. It is performed by Tshegofatso, Chillies, Masekwameng, and the amazing Simphiwe Bonongo on Beatbox. It will run at Pop Art from the 16th to the 19th of May 2019. Time for a quick break. Do stay with us.